This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Winnipeg is now a city without Valor. Valor FC, the city's professional soccer team, suspended operations today after 7 seasons. CBC's Bartley Kivas reports about the demise of what was one of the original franchises in the Canadian Premier League.
Valor FC had a unique name, a thoughtful logo, and a well-attended inaugural season, but the Canadian Premier League franchise never qualified for the postseason. Attendance dwindled after the COVID pandemic, and over the past 2 seasons, the club lost money and needed financial support from the league itself. The Winnipeg Football Club, which owns the team, announced Friday there is no extra time for Valor FC. Fans are dejected, but not surprised.
It's heartbreaking. Kind of switching between anger and frustration and sadness and swapping stories with people that we go to the games with.
I'm gutted. Like, honestly, just gutted. Betrayal, anger, sadness.
These fans say they feel the Winnipeg Football Club never made the effort to put the strongest possible team on the pitch or market Valor properly outside the stadium.
I think it felt like bare minimum all the time. It felt like bare minimum in terms of the investment to staffing, to the coaching, to even trying to do player recruitment.
If I'm completely honest with you, it was like Valor seemed to be more of a tax write-off.
The club's original coach feels the same way.
There really was no connection or effort to bring in new fans, market, bring in the immigrant population in Manitoba, which is so vibrant and so supportive of soccer. So I honestly think it just became more and more of an inconvenience.
Winnipeg Football Club CEO Wade Miller declined an interview. In a statement, he said without more backing from the league, there was no way to keep Valor FC alive and kicking. In a statement, the Canadian Premier League said it looked at ways to keep the Valor going, but it became clear there was no sustainable path forward. The head of the Manitoba Soccer Association says a pro club could work in Winnipeg with a dedicated stadium.
And it's a home that is for the size of the spectators that will attend, which is probably in the range of between 4,000, 5,000 and 10,000.
The Winnipeg Football Club says it'll honor all its Valor contracts through the end of the year and ensure fans who bought tickets get their refunds. Bartley Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Drones are helping to revolutionize the construction industry, not just saving time and money, but improving safety. And today, the first cohort of a new technology training program was learning all about it is graduating. CBC's Chloe Friesen has more.
1, 2, 3. Drones in construction!
These students are celebrating the final day of a brand new training program.
You know, it always feels great to have another cert.
The 3-day course is offered by the Manitoba Construction Sector Council and New Media Manitoba. It teaches people in the construction industry to use LiDAR drones and extended reality in their projects. LiDAR drones use lasers to create 3D maps of terrain, structures, and construction sites, and the maps are brought to life using computer programs.
LiDAR improves planning, reduces errors, enhances safety, and supports stronger decision-making.
Tyler Ross is part of the first group of graduates. The company he works for does underwater infrastructure work for companies like Manitoba Hydro. He says when he first got into the industry, he never expected it to look like this.
Mostly I thought I'd be like holding a rock drill or something like that. Just heavy construction is kind of what I envisioned.
He says adding LiDAR to his toolkit will help him create more accurate project plans for customers. Geospatial specialist Chris Hall also graduated today. He's excited about all of the potential uses of drones and LiDAR in his industry.
Potential flood areas for mapping for that. You can look at digital elevation models and work out the damage that flood events could occur with.
Program coordinator Jason Shields says this technology will not only launch construction into the future, but can help preserve Manitoba's past.
We can use these tools to record space, to archive space, but we can also use it to interact with space and kind of gamify it a little bit too.
Shields has been using LiDAR to scan the concrete mural underneath Portage in Maine. The plan is to preserve it using virtual reality. As for the program, registration is already open for the next session, which begins in January. Chloe Friesen, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Recent election results in a Manitoba First Nation are being disputed and called invalid by one of the candidates. Last week, Sioux Valley Dakota Nation elected Jennifer Bone as its new chief, but it's being called into question by the former chief who was seeking re-election, Vince Tatchin. Tatchin says the votes are invalid because ballot counting didn't follow proper protocols after an electoral officer walked out on Election Day. He says the results should be nullified and a new election should be held. The First Nation says it's a self-governing nation with its own laws and electoral system. It also adds that Tatchin is ineligible to serve because he's facing criminal charges. Tatchin was charged with a historical sexual assault days ahead of the vote. It was an in-service day for students in Lord Selkirk today, but for teachers, it was a day of studying. They spent the day learning how to integrate different concepts around truth and reconciliation into their regular teachings to students, and not just as part of the official curriculum. The CBC's Karen Pauls was there.
The hand drum is one way of bringing community together.
This is not just a drum lesson, not just a performance. These Manitoba teachers are in class on a professional development day, learning about Indigenous culture and how to incorporate it into their classrooms.
It just makes you a little more aware of why certain issues may exist and how you can at least become knowledgeable so that we're all growing together.
This is part of a bundle. Our relative in the center, Mayagan, the white wolf, that is our relative.
In another room, they're learning about traditional Indigenous medicine.
This particular one, it has bear grease, it has black poplar bud sap.
This Inuit cultural carrier says it's an honor to teach the teachers.
I know the knowledge that I carry, I know the skills that I carry, and I know that I'm happy to share those.
The Truth and Reconciliation Commission had several calls to action on education, including developing curriculum on the history of residential schools, treaties, and Indigenous peoples, providing culturally appropriate teacher training through Indigenous communities, and giving students chances to learn from survivors. All 3 territories and at least 6 provinces have formal, documented commitments to implement those calls to action. But this expert says it's still a work in progress.
They're really fearful of teaching this material and then going into parent-teacher interviews and having parents react very strongly, negatively to the teaching of Indigenous perspectives. So they're hitting a lot of roadblocks, that go well beyond the curriculum.
Back in Manitoba, these education students say this professional development will help them be better teachers.
But we want the students to start thinking outside the box, right? And I think by bringing that perspective in, they are like, oh, it's not, we're all connected. We have to respect the land.
Things I don't know anything about, and now I'm curious to know more about and share that.
And that's the whole point, says this Métis Middle School vice principal.
We all look back to that Maclean's article of Winnipeg being one of the most racist cities, and I think that that's still true. So I think there's a lot of work to do, but I think that we're moving in a good way. I hope they walk away today feeling more confident in their ability to bring Indigenous programming into the classroom.
The former senator, judge, and Chief Commissioner Murray Sinclair grew up and went to school in this community. He often said education is what got us into this mess, and it's the key to getting us out of it. Sinclair passed away just over a year ago, but his spirit still lives in sessions like this. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Selkirk, Manitoba.
Time now to bring in weather specialist Riley Lachak. And Riley, I know it's got to come sometime. It's still November, but there is snow on the way. But do I need to pull out a shovel yet?
For good measure, you should start to get these things ready, Brittany, because it will be here before you know it. This is into next week. So there's some time between now and then, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on what that time means between now and next week when we're looking at some snow across southern Manitoba. For now, though, another day where we saw temperatures above the freezing mark across much of southern Manitoba. 2 degrees in Winnipeg, 2 in Dauphin, 4s and 5s even down into southwestern Manitoba. So a pretty decent day weather-wise. And you know what, a bit of a tip for you, if you haven't got the Christmas lights up yet, this weekend is probably your chance to do it before we get into some cooler air here. So we've started to get some cloud building in to parts of southern Manitoba as we head into the evening hours here. This ahead of a weak disturbance that will push into northern Manitoba, but does drop a frontal boundary down into the south as we get into the overnight hours. So we'll get some clouds tonight in the Red River Valley. Out of some of that cloud cover, a slim chance of maybe a couple of odd scattered flurries out of some of that. First thing in the morning, looking at around -2, we'll get into some clearing, and then we're back into a mix of sun and clouds by the afternoon. We'll try for 6 tomorrow afternoon. Brittany, temperatures like this do not last, though, and I'll go into the details when I come back.
Right, a weekend to get outside.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
We have more local news after the break. Enjoy this shot of Winnipeg from above. Stay with us. How far is too far when it comes to freedom of speech for members of Winnipeg City Council? That was the question at stake today at court as a judge heard Councillor Russ Wyatt's challenge. It's over an integrity commissioner's finding that he harassed the city's former CAO. CBC's Cameron McLean was in the courtroom today and brings us more.
At the center of this case is a question. What can councillors say publicly about senior city staff, and where is the line between criticism and harassment? Councillor Russ Wyatt appeared in court today challenging an integrity commissioner report that found he harassed then CAO Michael Jack. That came after Wyatt told CBC News he planned to bring a motion forward calling for Jack's removal, unless Jack fired a city planner involved in the Parker Lands lawsuit, which led to a $5 million decision against the city. Wyatt says announcing that intention publicly wasn't a threat, it was transparency.
So now if I can't even say that publicly, that I'm planning to bring a motion forward in advance, what am I going to do? Just walk it on the floor of council the day of, and everybody's asking, well, why is this motion here? Well, I was explaining why.
Wyatt argues councillors who aren't part of the mayor's inner circle depend on the media to bring issues forward, and says restricting that ability risks shutting down legitimate debate.
It was made to just say this is what has to happen to bring accountability back to City Hall. And if I can't even do that, and it has to be done in closed door sessions or secret sessions or private meetings, you know, we've really lost something in our community.
But the city of Winnipeg argues Wyatt crossed the line. City lawyer Greg Tramley argued Wyatt's comments went beyond expressing an opinion, pressuring the city's top employee during an active legal file. You're not allowed under the code to threaten an employee to fire them if they don't do A and they don't do B. That's a violation of the code. The city also told the court Wyatt had multiple other ways to raise his concerns, including bringing the issue to council, speaking to the mayor, or asking for an in-camera discussion without putting public pressure on the CAO. Wyatt asked Justice Christian Monin to quash the integrity report and order the city to cover his legal costs. The judge has reserved his decision. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Most progressive Conservative MLAs stayed in their seats Thursday when a government MLA read a speech marking Transgender Day of Remembrance. That move was strongly condemned today by the NDP government. Premier Wab Kinew took aim at PC leader Abi Khan, accusing him of failing to support the transgender community.
He comes in here and he pats himself on the back, first Muslim MLA ever elected. But when it comes time to honor a different community, no, they draw the line. Why is that? Such a bizarre worldview in the PC side of things, where human rights for some, but not human rights for all.
Khan says the speech was divisive, focused on another province's issues, and it didn't ask MLAs to commemorate the trans community.
If it was about the lives lost and the suffering from the trans and marginalized community, I would have 100% stood up for that. But it wasn't. It was not. It was politically charged and motivated, exactly what this NDP government wanted to do.
The speech was read by Logan Oxenham, Manitoba's first openly transgender MLA. It was a silent and somber ceremony honoring Ukrainian children who never made it home. Ukraine has lost thousands of innocent lives since Russia launched a full-scale invasion more than 3 years ago. And last night, Manitobans made sure they're not forgotten. CBC's Chuck Tinte has more.
Each candle, each pair of children's shoes, symbolizing a young Ukrainian life cut short. Hundreds covering the steps outside the legislative building Thursday night.
It is very painful. It is very hard to think about that.
Mila Shikota has been collecting shoes since September, all donated by Manitobans, many of who were members of the province's Ukrainian community.
Each parent, each mom, and each dad, I think, feel the same when they think about the killed children. They're thinking about their own children.
Oksana Hoditsa is a mother herself. For her, it was important to show up. She and her husband were living in Poland for work when the war started. Feeling like they couldn't return to Ukraine, they moved to Manitoba.
And we can't pronounce every name of children who was dying in Ukraine, but we can stay here, pray, and just hope the war is end. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not after a week or months, but someday I really hope.
Just 2 days ago, 3 children were among the dead following overnight strikes in the western Ukrainian city of Ternopil.
This is what is happening every single day. I'd like people to remember that.
Since the start of the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the United Nations says there's been more than 14,000 civilians killed, more than 700 of them children. But the UN believes that number is likely much higher.
My heart is with the Ukrainian parents who have lost their kids.
The event was held on World Children's Day, marking the adoption of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. It was a quiet message on a day meant to protect kids everywhere. Chuck Tinte, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Riley, back in now, and a lot of littles in those videos with their winter jackets on already. It's cooling off for sure into the evenings, but people still really surprised that we haven't seen any snowfall stick yet, at least in the southern part of the province.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some snow, Brittany, in northern parts of the province. I mean, we have seen in western Manitoba even as well some snow come and then melt again. So it happens. So I'm going to start with some stats for you. The last 10 years, the date at which we've seen that snowfall that sticks, I guess if you want to say signaling the actual sort of start of winter here in Winnipeg. So I mean, these are Winnipeg stats, so they will vary depending on where you are in the province, but this is maybe a bit of a guideline for you. So last year, that snow that stuck was November 26th. Some of the dates that you see here with asterisks over the past 10 years are dates where we did see some snow. It melted and then came back. So that's why I'm going with the latter date here, is that snow that stuck, for example. And we range everywhere from November the 11th back in 2021 all the way to December 21st in 2020. So a bit of a range there. So not totally unusual that we haven't seen that snowfall yet, but it is coming as we get into the next few days here. So as we head through the night tonight, we'll see some cloud building really across the province. This ahead of a weak disturbance that pushes across the north. This is another shot of around 2 to 5 centimeters for parts of northern Manitoba as we head overnight into the day on Saturday. But I've stopped overnight into Saturday here because you can start to see as this frontal boundary pushes through along with this, we could either get into some freezing rain or even some mixing as we get into the overnight hours. So that's why I've put a slight chance of flurries in the forecast for Winnipeg, but that really trails up into the Inner Lake and even down into northwestern Ontario. So just a heads up. Fairly slim chance of maybe seeing a few snowflakes, but that's about it. Through the day on Saturday, that snow pushes off. We do see a few flurries along the Hudson Bay coast, and then we're back into a mainly clear sky as we head into Sunday, but it's what's coming as we head into Monday that I want to draw your attention to here as we get into next week. So we'll see some cloud cover building in on Monday. This ahead of a couple of things that are happening. First off, this developing low over the Rockies as this pushes eastward, and another low coming up from the States that pushes northeastward. And there's still a lot of uncertainty on what actually will happen come Tuesday as both of these lows converge on Manitoba and what happens as they kind of dance together here through into parts of Minnesota. So right now the forecast modeling is suggesting pretty much anywhere south of the Trans-Canada getting some snow, maybe even to the tune of 5 to 10 centimeters in some locations as we get Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. So temperatures first thing in the morning in the south around the freezing mark, -5 to -8 through Thompson into Gillam. We'll try for 5 degrees on Sunday, Brittany, 4 into Monday, and then temperatures start to slide as that snow moves in as we get into next week.
And there it is. Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
We have much more to come after the break. Stay with us. Officials in the BC coastal community of Bella Coola are trying to determine what caused a grizzly bear to charge a group of students and their teachers. And part of that effort is locating the bear.
We've got several traps out right now. We're preparing to set out a whole bunch of cameras. And the biggest message is just if we can get people to stay out of the area, then we don't want to get the bears necessary to leave, but we just want to establish what's going on in the area. And they'll act more naturally if nobody is in the area disturbing them.
There's widespread praise for how the 4th and 5th graders responded and for the teachers who were prepared with bear spray and flare devices. 11 people were injured. An adult and several children needed to be flown south to Vancouver for medical care. Prime Minister Mark Carney has arrived in South Africa for the G20 Leaders Summit. He's planning to meet with several world leaders over the weekend, but delegates from one major country won't be there. The CBC's Ashley Burke is in Johannesburg with more.
The Prime Minister arriving in Johannesburg for a summit that's supposed to be with leaders representing 2/3 of the world's population. But this year, the biggest economy won't be there. Donald Trump's boycotting the G20.
The United States is not participating in official talks.
Death, death, death.
In May, Trump confronted South Africa's president with false claims of genocide against white South African farmers, and later called it a disgrace it's hosting the G20.
Because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told him I'm not going. I'm not going to represent our country there.
But the summit's going ahead without Trump. And on the heels of Carney's visit to the UAE, he's aiming to continue diversifying trade away from the U.S.
Canadians have become united in the face of the fundamental change in U.S. trade policy.
Carney made his pitch to business leaders about why he says they should invest in Canada.
One of the things, the many strengths of the UAE that Canada shares, is offering investors the certainty that they deserve.
The UAE is now promising to invest more than $90 billion into Canada's economy, with $23 billion for specific projects. Carney's now taking his pitch to other countries on the sidelines of the G20. Trump not being there removes a big center of attention.
If part of the goal for Mark Carney at this summit is to have meetings with key countries that Canada is trying to deepen its trade partnerships with, like South Korea, like Indonesia, India, and others, then Trump's absence may, in some ways, actually create some space for that.
Carney is expected to hold bilateral meetings on Saturday with the leaders of France, the EU, UK, Germany, and Norway, then meet with India's Prime Minister on Sunday. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Johannesburg.
New data analyzed by CBC Marketplace shows about 500,000 Canadians left emergency departments before being seen by a doctor last year. The data crunch shows the number of these incidents has been climbing in recent years due to long ER waits. Our team found those are also rising. ER physicians say it's a worrying trend that could mean patients are getting sicker at home. Marketplace co-host Chris Glover reports.
It was chaotic, it was loud.
When Susan Gordon went to Moncton Hospital ER with severe stomach pain in June, she waited hours. Even though she still hadn't seen a doctor, she decided to leave. Her pain intensified until eventually she collapsed and was rushed back to the ER.
She said it's your appendix. I needed to have surgery, and they were doing it immediately.
The health authority that runs the Moncton Hospital ER tells us it doesn't want any patients to leave without being seen. Last year, 12% of New Brunswick ER patients, nearly 60,000 people, walked out without seeing a doctor. The provinces with the highest percentage of walkouts were Manitoba and PEI.
It's rare that a shift will go by where one of the patients I'll see isn't someone that was there yesterday or the day before and couldn't handle the wait and left. And now they come back, and now they're that much sicker.
Hazel and GJ Vanderwerken's 16-year-old son Finley never left, but in February 2024 got sicker while waiting in Oakville, Ontario's ER.
He was having problems breathing, and he was in so much pain, he was crying out.
Triaged at level 2, meaning his case was emergent. Guidelines say he should be seen by a doctor within 15 minutes. But he waited for 8 hours and 22 minutes. By then, Finley had sepsis, his body reacting to pneumonia, and ultimately, he died.
Do you think that his death was preventable? Yes.
Yes.
The family is suing the hospital and its staff. Halton Healthcare denies negligence and says it's since added more doctors at peak periods. Experts say chronic understaffing across the country, a lack of family doctors, and hospitals at capacity are causing long wait times. Still not satisfied, the Vanderwerkens are calling on provincial governments to speed up emergency care.
It's our job now to use his voice to turn things around.
All provinces acknowledge ER wait times are too long, and they're trying to expand capacity, not just in hospitals, but also adding more primary care workers. Chris Glover, CBC News, Toronto.
For the full investigation, watch In Critical Condition tonight at 8 p.m. on CBC TV and CBC Gem. Smash and grab robberies are getting more and more attention, and police say the numbers are growing in Canada. The Fifth Estate looks into these crimes. Iona Romeliotis has the story.
We're here. The team just went into the building. They're likely at the door now, I would assume, and they're about to execute the warrant.
When York Regional Police's hold-up unit executed a search warrant in Toronto, they didn't expect to find all this.
Hammers that they obviously have splashed in displays with, shattered glass obviously from display cases as well.
A bag full of potential evidence. It wasn't the only surprising lead.
From people's jewelry.
I've been told that there's one male adult inside and he's currently under arrest.
Okay. Police say the suspect in that cruiser is linked to several smash and grab robberies in Ontario. You might have seen videos of those brazen robberies. Police say they've spiked in the last 3 years. The Fifth Estate was able to identify at least 60 cases in Ontario this year alone. Jerry Serrani's store has been targeted 3 times in 1 year.
You see the crime is getting bigger and bigger, getting more violent. So something has to happen. Something has to change.
You know, we've never seen the prevalence of young persons committing crimes at these levels, ever.
In Peel Region, west of Toronto, 40% of robbery suspects are young teens, in many cases recruited by adults who tell them they'll face less severe consequences if they get caught. Once out on bail, police say the minors often go on to reoffend.
If you look at the numbers don't lie. We're not, the deterrent isn't there. So the messaging isn't there, and you know, these repeat offenders and this cycle of violence that's occurring, it has to stop.
There's a lot of emotion behind it. For him, I think.
This mother told us an adult baited her 16-year-old son, who is accused of being involved in multiple smash and grabs. To protect his identity under the law, we can't show you who she is.
It's also like really pathetic to use a child for financial gain. It's pretty sickening.
Those dangerous influences are still out there, and why she made a tough decision to not bail her son out, because she believes he's safer in custody. Ioana Romeliotis, CBC News, Toronto.
A week of relentless rain and flash flooding has left at least 41 people dead and countless others seeking shelter in central Vietnam. Rescue teams are racing to move people trapped in chest-high water. More than 500,000 households and businesses were damaged. The floodwaters are also hampering the lucrative coffee harvest in the region. Extreme weather has battered Vietnam in recent months. 2 typhoons left a trail of death and destruction within weeks of each other. Violence continues to surge in the West Bank. Health officials say 2 Palestinian teens were killed by Israeli forces near Ramallah overnight. It comes after Israel says Palestinian attackers killed an Israeli man and injured 3 others in a stabbing and car ramming attack earlier this week. Tom Perry reports.
The aftermath of a surprise attack. The charred remains of delivery vans at a dairy in the occupied West Bank. The vehicles set alight by a mob of masked Israeli settlers. Mohammed Zabadeh works here. On the day of the attack, he saw workers running. When he saw the settlers, he says, he made sure the doors were locked and employees inside. This attack part of a surge in settler violence, targeting homes, vehicles, a mosque, even a Reuters news crew covering the annual olive harvest, a frequent flashpoint. In the town of Sinjar, where the Palestinian Health Ministry says settlers killed 2 men, including a Palestinian American, in July, homes have been attacked and car windows smashed. The town sits behind a high metal fence. Israeli officials say it's to protect a nearby highway from Palestinians throwing rocks and attacking vehicles. Though people here say all it's done is cut them off from their land. Walid Naim Fakah used to grow food on the far side of the fence. Now he worries what will happen if he's caught there by settlers or the army.
The situation in Sinjar is very dangerous.
The town's mayor doesn't believe Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has condemned the recent violence and called on authorities to go after the perpetrators.
No, that's not true. Benjamin Netanyahu, with his team, they protect them.
Human rights groups and the UN say Israeli authorities have often turned a blind eye to attacks or supported them. Palestinians say so far they see no reason to believe that will change. Tom Perry, CBC News, Sinjar in the occupied West Bank.
It may be a familiar morning fight for parents, kids saying they're too sick to go to school. But some experts say could be behind rising numbers of school absences. That story is next. It's a familiar refrain to many parents. Children who say they can't go to school because they're sick. A CBC News investigation has found it's happening more than it used to. And experts say some of it may be linked to anxiety and mental health. The CBC's Tara Carmen reports.
This one, it gets stuck.
2 months into the new school year, and 12-year-old William D. Pasquale has already missed 10 days of grade 7.
I don't really like school at the moment.
Having cereal, getting your outfit together, just starts to show up in resistance.
William's father, Norm, works from home.
5 minus 7, yeah.
He has the added task of supervising William when he doesn't want to go to school.
We're at about the time where you have to get them to school so that you can get back to start your workday. So the clock is ticking, and that sort of subtle resistance is very effective.
What is he saying about why he doesn't want to go?
You don't always get a clear reason. It might be sometimes I'm feeling sick. Maybe that's legit. Sometimes maybe it's not necessarily legit. Other times maybe there's another reason, like bullying in the schoolyard that's happening.
I twitch a lot in class. And sometimes I get made fun of that.
Can you tell me about what happens?
Just say mean stuff.
And how does that feel?
Well, sometimes I'm I don't care. Okay, yeah, you said it. But sometimes it kind of hurts.
When there's been an incident at school, it carries with him the next day, and then the next morning it becomes the reason why he doesn't want to go to school that day.
To find out how widespread this is, CBC News obtained attendance data from some of the largest school districts in the country. Of those that track illness, our analysis shows compared to 5 years ago, absences for reported illness went up.
When we think about school attendance, we think about it as a symptom of underlying issues that can be going on.
We do have to set a date for that. Natasha McBrearty and David Smith belong to a research partnership investigating attendance issues among children and youth in Canada.
We know from the families we work with, we know from the service providers that anxiety definitely is a contributor to attendance.
Anxiety over taking a test, difficulty fitting in, stress at home, bullying.
The staying home is a well-known, well-documented reaction of kids and parents to bullying situations. Every day there are hundreds or thousands of students who are out of school because of the bullying that they're experiencing.
Mom's going to pass you some seaweed there for your lunch.
Tara Carmen, CBC News, Toronto.
Winnipeg Jets goalie and Vezina Trophy winner Connor Hellebuyck is out of the lineup. The team says Hellebuyck has to undergo an arthroscopic procedure on his knee. It means he'll be out off the ice for the next 4 to 6 weeks. The Jets say he'd been playing through a knee injury and the timing is right to get it taken care of. The surgery comes less than 3 months before the start of the Olympics. Eric Comrie will be starting for the Jets in his absence. And it's one of Manitoba's most beloved holiday traditions, and it's now back for the season. Zoo Lights returns to the Assiniboine Zoo. This year, there's more than 1.75 million lights illuminating a 2-kilometer winter walking trail. People can also take in live entertainment with carolers, fire dancers, and light performers. And of course, there's cozy fire pits and an indoor area to warm up. Santa will also be making an appearance each night. The event goes until January 1st. It looks beautiful, but it just makes me wonder about their hydro bill.
Oh, yeah.
But beautiful, beautiful. You've got weeks to check it out. It's always one of the big festive events.
It will be a great weekend for that, especially with temperatures above freezing. I mean, once we get into the evening hours, that does tend to slip closer to the freezing mark, but still pretty nice nonetheless, all things considered,
right?
When we should be close to -4 for a daytime high. So,
get it in this weekend while you can.
Yeah, bundle the kids up too, because it might be a bit chilly for them. Okay, you know what? Like we did last week, we'll do another double dose of Feline Friday because I've got so many cats to get through, so we're going to get through some of them. By the way, I put the call out for animals other than dogs and cats last night, and boy, did I get quite a good response. So we'll start mixing some of those in next week as well. First up, we have Oliver. Thank you, Elsa. Oliver loves catching some sun rays on the rug there. Well, you know what? You might catch some of those as we get through the weekend across southern Manitoba. And we have Flower from Bonnie, who looks quite content taking a nap. Thanks for your pictures. Send yours to Talkback at cbc.ca. I mean, maybe a bit breezy as we get into the afternoon, but 6 degrees, a pretty decent daytime high for tomorrow, down to 3 by supper time. Again, we do get a bit of a breeze as we get into the afternoon and the evening, but all things considered, we are into some pretty good weather for much of the province, thanks to a bit of a ridge that's formed in the jet stream that's allowed some of that warmer air into southern parts of the province. But you'll notice as we get into next week, this picture does change quite a bit. So we keep the warmth into Sunday, but as that system passes through Tuesday into Wednesday, look at what happens here. We get into a real big trough in the jet stream here, and this is going to allow some much cooler Arctic air really right across Western Canada, and this is going to plunge our temperatures back to seasonal or even below seasonal in many cases as we get toward the end of the week. You'll see some of those numbers in your 7-day forecast in just a bit. For tonight, though, at least looking at temperatures close to freezing across much of the province. We'll see clouds building in west to east as we get through the night, and particularly through the Inner Lake down into the Red River Valley. We do have a slim chance of maybe a couple of showers or some stray flurries through the night tonight. Swan River at -3. In the north, temperatures rising overnight tonight. By tomorrow morning to -2s for Flin Flon, the Paw, Flin Flon, Norway House, Thompson, Lynn Lake, looking at a pretty general 2 to 4 centimeters overnight tonight. More like some light flurries as we get into parts of the northwest as we get into the day. Tomorrow, that snow starts to taper off. Temperatures back up above the freezing mark as we get into the afternoon, and even back into some sunshine through Flin Flon, the Paw, into Lynn Lake. In the south, this does clear out, although first thing in the morning we could get into some snow or some mixed precipitation, Brittany, into northwestern Ontario. Then we're into the sunshine for the rest of the day and maybe a bit breezy. I'll have your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right. Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, we've also gotten a glimpse into the life of Juno Award-winning punk rocker Biff Naked over the years. She grew up here in Manitoba, but many don't know her history. Born in India, she was adopted by American missionaries who eventually moved here. Biff Naked has survived sexual assault and cancer. Now the upcoming film Biff Naked, a documentary, shares even more. She spoke to Marcy Marcusa about opening up to the world.
I've been writing these kind of really personal lyrics since I was, I don't know, in Gorilla Gorilla. Like, you know, I've never been a shy person. So, you know, these lyrics have always been out there in the world. You know, I've been able to kind of, you know, enshroud them in, you know, this poetic kind of fabric all this time. But it was very difficult, you know, kind of, you know, being very honest and tearfully recalling, you know, in interview style for the camera, some of these, you know, very factual and very intimate personal details. Some things that were not in my memoir. You know, HarperCollins is a lovely company, certainly. But we didn't talk about stalkers at all in my memoir. We did not go there. And that's, you know, HarperCollins is, you know, my book for HarperCollins is very polite.
Yeah.
Let me just put it that way. It's a very polite book.
How much do stalkers factor in? Did they factor into your journey?
I have a lot of stalkers. I've always had a lot of stalkers. I've been in court a lot. The criminal justice system and me are good friends. And have always been. I have a lot of dark tales in my professional life and in my adult life, and I have a lot of dark tales in my domestic violence experience, and I have never gone there in my book, and I don't really go there too much in my documentary because there just isn't the time. You know, part of what my documentary talks about is how if you are a trauma survivor. And, you know, I am a self-respect filled prairie girl, you know. And so I always say that you have humor, you know, because we use humor as prairie girls.
Yes, we do.
We use humor as a survival technique.
As you said, you shared tears when you're doing this long interview. Do you have moments of self-reflection after that interview's done on the day and you think, whew, but this is going to reach so-and-so of a group, and that's why it's worth it? Who are you thinking of reaching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know for a fact because most of my best friends are also from Winnipeg. And I'm still friends with all the girls that I was friends with when I was 18. and we all went through all the same things. And so, you know, we all high five at the end. So to watch that on the screen, I know for a fact that there are going to be people in the audience who are going to relate to it and who are going to leave with smiles on their faces, for sure, and bigger hearts. And I hope that everyone leaves with a smile on their face and a good feeling in their heart, because no matter what we have all been through in our lives, and everyone has a shared experience, we all have that mutuality.
Still ahead, a new store has opened its doors at a popular city mall. Plus, Riley is back with a last check on our forecast. Stay with us. Shoppers will have a new spot to hit as Polo Park welcomes a new anchor tenant this holiday season. Winnipeggers lined up this morning to be the first shoppers at the city's new London Drugs. It moved into the former Zellers location. The nearly 30,000 square foot store includes a wellness center and a space dedicated to teaching customers how to use health monitoring devices at home. It also includes a package recycling zone. The company says the opening has created 90 jobs. This is the second London Drugs. The first opened in St. Vital in 2004.
All right. Well, you know what? We had a good run with the fall supper forecast through the fall months, so I thought we'd do something different as we head into the next month or so here. Look ahead to the Santa Claus parades that are happening across the province. So we've got two this weekend, both of them happening tomorrow. We have one that's happening in Brandon tomorrow, downtown at 6 o'clock, looking at the temperature around 3 for that. And in Thompson tomorrow afternoon, looking at the temperature around 1 degree by the time that gets underway. So we'll look forward to looking at more Santa Claus parades as we get into next weekend again as well. Looking at 6 degrees in Winnipeg for Saturday, 5 for Sunday, pretty pleasant, although maybe a bit breezy at times as we get through the weekend. And then we'll get some cloud building in on Monday ahead of that system that pushes through Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. Looking at snow beginning through the afternoon hours Tuesday, tapering off through Wednesday, and then some much cooler air behind that, -6s and -7s for highs. And look at those lows, minus double digits, back to seasonal by the end of next week. Well, as the temperatures start to dip, it always feels like a good time for a spa day.
It's always a good time for a spa day. The London Zoo has created a new spa-themed enclosure to help settle in two capybaras. Here's our daily lift.
Kiwi is the younger sister of Gizmo. They've had a nice mooch around this morning. They've got a heated shelter, they've got a deep pond outside. On top of that, they also have a wallow. They love to roll around in the mud.
Kiwi and Gizmo's new climate-controlled home also includes 2 pools. Capybaras are semi-aquatic and considered the world's largest rodent.
The zoo says the pair are settled in and seem to be very happy with their permanent exhibit. It also hopes to encourage people to not keep the species as pets.
They're pretty cute, even for a rodent.
Don't think they'd like our climate.
No, I don't think so. Not warm enough, that's for sure. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.
Have a good one.